Good morning today. Welcome back to the homestead. How are we doing today? So today I wanted to do just a little quick video and talk to you guys about some problems that we've been having here recently on the homestead. And I'm sure it's similar problems that you may be dealing with on your homestead. And that is pest, mice and rats. Now, when we first moved here about 3 years ago, we had a big problem with snakes. There was quite a few times I'd go up to the barn and the snakes would be eating the chicken eggs or the duck eggs, or they would be eating the little baby chicks and the baby ducks. So we pretty much eliminated the snakes, and now we don't have the snakes, so now the rats and the mice have moved in. So last week was the first time ever we had a major problem here. I went up one morning and I was missing about 10 chicks and the 2 goslings that were hatched here this year. And you could clearly tell that it was the rats took all of them. So we went to war on the rats. This was actually a couple weeks ago. So I've been doing a lot of research and stuff, and I'm going online, and I've been watching all kind of YouTube videos of people saying, you know, this is the best trap, this is the best trap, this is the best thing to do. And we tried it all. And I wanted to go over with you some of our things that we tried and what worked best for us. So one of the first things I did was I just went out and I bought the poison that you buy at any home improvement store or hardware store, and we put out the poison. And to tell you the truth, the rats just laughed at it. I don't even know if one of them ate it. They just didn't pay any attention to it at all. So what I did then try to do was I got a jar of peanut butter and I put some peanut butter on the poison, just a nice thin layer, and I set it out. It looks like they took a couple nibbles here and there, but still, I'd never seen any type of improvement in the rat population. Now, I guess I should say right away, one of the first things we started doing right away was to try to eliminate any more casualties, is every night we bring every chick into the house. Whether the mums, whether we have broody mums that hatched them and the mums are taking care of the chicks or whatever, we go up and we collect every chick every night and we bring them in and we stick them in the house. That way, to kind of eliminate the problem in which the rats can take the chicks. So after we tried the poison and it didn't work, and I tried different things, I even tried smashing the poison up and mixing it with peanut butter, it still didn't work. So I saw quite a few videos and they talked about this whole thing of taking flour and mixing with baking soda, or taking flour and mixing it with plaster of Paris, taking peanut butter, mixing with plaster of Paris, taking peanut butter, mixing it with baking soda. And we tried it all. I mixed it up, I stuck it out there. I don't know, it looks like there was maybe some little chew marks here and there. Nothing really. I mean, people said they put it out and the next day it was all gone and all their rats were gone, and I didn't see any of that. I don't think any of that really works, honestly. I don't know. I had no luck with it at all. We tried it a couple nights in a row and we still see no improvement in the rat population at all. So finally, I decided that we were going to take some drastic measures in which we were going to eliminate these rats and get rid of these rats, no matter what. So one of the first things we did to make the major improvement was me and Jen went out there, and if you go into any of the cow shelters or any of the goat shelters and stuff, where they eat and sleep is usually about the middle of the pen, and the edges of the pen, the cows don't lay there. They don't lay up against the wall, and you will notice that the rats will burrow down into the hay and the straw around the edges and build their nest. So one of the first things we did was we went up there, and every single pen, we cleaned all the hay away from the edges, and we outturned probably about 5 rats' nests that were full of babies. And so, I mean, we eliminated all the babies, but that was the first step there, was to eliminate a lot of the shelter. They won't sleep in the center. We went up there, we cleaned up a lot of stuff, moved a lot of stuff around, just changed up the way we do things up there, and eliminated a lot of the shelter and places for the rats to hide. Because number one, if they don't have a place to hide and they don't have a place to live, they're not going to stick around. So that was probably the first thing that we did where we started seeing major improvements in the rat population. The second thing we did, which was actually kind of fun, me and the youngest boy, we went out and we bought pellet guns. And we did a little target practicing on the first day, and went out there that night and we had a blast. We just put on headlamps and went up there to the barn. We went up there every couple hours. We'd go up there and we'd see a rat, pull up and shoot it. And that night there, we put a major dent in the rat population. We killed a lot of big rats. I mean, it killed a couple small ones here and there, but that was when I really started seeing the major drop in the rat population up there at the barn. So we got the old-fashioned wooden rat traps. And, you know, growing up, Mama always used to tell me that you took a piece of bacon, you tied it to the trap, and then you covered it with peanut butter. And that way, whenever the rat would come up and they would try to grab the peanut butter, they'd get a hold of that gristle from the bacon and they'd start pulling on the bait, and then that's how they'd get trapped. So we did that at first, was we set the traps up there like that. And I don't know, the traps kept getting set off, and a lot of times the bacon was still there and the peanut butter was still there, and we weren't catching any. So then I watched another video on YouTube, and there was a guy on there, and he said, you want to catch rats? I'll show you. This is what I call rat crack. So what he called rat crack was, the fact is that he took Tootsie Rolls and he cut the Tootsie Rolls up and he put the Tootsie Roll on the bait pan there. And, you know, he smeared it into the bait pan. And he said, I guarantee you put this out and you're going to catch rats. You're going to catch rats every time. So we put that out, and I think we caught maybe 2 rats that way there. I mean, it did okay, but it still wasn't the best possible way of catching rats. So I did a little bit of more thinking, and I come up with this way here, and I want to go ahead and take you up and show you. This is a guaranteed way of catching rats. I mean, there's days that I go up there about every hour or so and clean 3-4 rats out of the traps. I have about 6 traps up there set, and I'll reset them, go back up in an hour again, and catch a couple more. And overnight, I get up every morning and I usually have at least 1 rat in every trap. So let's go on up to the barn there and take a look and see what I did. So all I do is I set these old wooden rat traps and mice traps, and instead of baiting them with anything special, as you can see, like this one here, I just threw some feed on there. So there's some corn and there's some of the sweet feed pellet that we feed, and it's on that trap there. And what happens is that the mouse will come over, or the rat, for the bigger trap there, it'll come over and it'll start just eating the feed. It just thinks that I spilled some feed there. And as it's just eating away, unknowingly, it hits the trigger and snap. That has been by far the most effective way that I have been able to really, truly eliminate the population of rats that we had here in the barn. I mean, I come up every couple hours and check on them, empty out the rats, and reset them. And just keep the cycle going on and on and on. And I have now down to where I'm pretty sure I'm almost 100% rat free. But that's the thing, is you cannot stop. We'll need to continue to set these traps and have them set every day, and that way if the rats ever do decide to come back, that we have defense there to stop them. So that's all I got time for today. I hope this video is helpful, and if you have a rat problem or a mouse problem, to get rid of that problem on the homestead. Well, thanks for stopping by the homestead, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.